Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to again be stepping away from a little more of the developer side of things and focus on some ways that we can improve our lifestyle when dealing with tech. So if you're ready to get started, stay tuned. Let's learn together. So one of the things that I've been learning about recently is the types and amount of fields that come off of our various mobile devices, such as our phones and our watches. Now, the app that we've got on our home screen here is an app that a friend of mine wrote. So give it a try whenever you get a chance, and be sure to leave some good feedback on his App Store reviews. So one of the things that we can do, you can see here that our meter is measuring the power output of the various EMF fields. That means electromagnetic fields that this device is putting off. Now, this device happens to just be my phone. And as you can see here, it's putting off greater than 6 volts per meter, which is a lot of signals coming out of this device. And as you can see, even if we move it over the device directly, it doesn't really change anything. So one of the things we could do is you might say, well, let's go in and let's turn off the Wi-Fi. And as you can see, it doesn't really change a whole lot. And so you're like, all right, maybe we could turn Bluetooth off. What would that do? And as you can see, again, it doesn't actually do a whole lot. We're still greater than 6 volts per meter. So what about airplane mode? You might think, now that would do something. And as you can see, it actually dropped a little lower. It's down in the 2 range. But if we actually go and check out our settings, by default, it leaves Bluetooth on. So one thing that we could do is we can tap into that Bluetooth button, turn Bluetooth off, and then we'll back out into our settings here. And then we'll just put it back on the home screen, and let's check our meter again. It was less than 6, and now with airplane mode on, it is about 0.0203, somewhere in there. Very cool. So that is one thing that you can actually do to go ahead and improve the amount of signals that you've got coming out of the device. If that's something you're concerned about, is you can make sure your device is in airplane mode, but by default, Apple doesn't actually turn the radios off. To get airplane mode to really do what you want it to do to reduce the signals, you want to make sure that those radios are actually switched off. So as you can see here, we have transitioned over to check our watch with the same meter that we were using to check our phone. And as you can see, if we put the meter directly over the watch, we're seeing greater than 6 volts per meter. And so we can press the side button on the watch, and we can turn on airplane mode. And then if we check that watch one more time, you can see it's still greater than 6 volts per meter. Now, the watch has the same issue that the phone does, and so we can go over into settings, and once we're in our settings, we can scroll down to airplane mode, and if we click on airplane mode, and we scroll down just a little bit, we can see that the Bluetooth radio is still on. So now we'll have to deactivate airplane mode temporarily, and then we can turn off our Bluetooth radio, and then we can turn airplane mode back on. Actually, let's go ahead and turn airplane mode back on, and then we can recheck our device, and as you can see, it's 0.07. So that is way better than it was earlier. And again, just double checking to make sure everything is the same, turning it back on, we can see it's greater than 6 volts per meter. And again, one more time, we'll just turn airplane mode back on again instead of back off, and it drops back down to a very low number. And with that, hopefully you've been able to learn how to reduce the amount of signals coming out of your device. Now, as a developer, these are things that we need to account for. We need to account for what happens when a user puts their device in airplane mode or has certain radios that we may be depending on. What happens when the user turns those off? Does your code actually work in those scenarios? Have valuable content to let the user know, hey, I can't do whatever the thing is because this radio is turned off. These are things that we need to plan for. And with that, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you leave a comment, just be nice about it. That's all I ask. Thanks. Have a great day.